toast to us.
Rick, I am excited because we are here finally. And look at you with your double espresso and your little pinky going up as well. It's unbelievable.
And,
I love it.
A Sharon fruit.
Oh, Sharon fruit. Ah, yes. The epitome of any Albanian male. A Sharon fruit.
Yes, I do love a Sharon fruit.
Do you remember the ones that we used to eat in Albania, right? When you used to crack the seed inside?
No.
So in Albania, right, because it was so
you used
good.
To crack the seed inside.
so you crack the seed inside, but inside sometimes you used to get like a little shape of a knife and fork, like inside the seed.
No,
not even a lie. That's not even a lie. That is a real thing. But yeah, it's a Sharon fruit. Yeah. Situationship.
Hurma doe ik het.
Hurma, yes. Yeah. So that's it's the right one. Yeah. So, yeah. But again, I don't know if that happens here because they're not exactly the freshest or whatever. But in Albania, because they were like homegrown sort of thing.
Yeah, because obviously you just go out in the garden and pick one off the tree, don't you?
Yeah, literally, like what I mean.
Yeah.
My old house, we
front
found
garden
trees
as well. It's not even your
shit.
rear garden. It's always the front garden.
It's always the front garden. Always, there's no rear garden.
Shower fruits and
looks in the rearview mirror, man?
Exactly.
Albanians, we look forward, bro.
They're always in the future. Never mind. Forget that.
Yeah, exactly. We are way ahead in the future right now. But right, Rick, look, as we did the last episode, right? First of all, welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. And there is going to be a lot of shit that we talk about. So it is another jam-packed show, I'm afraid. So we're just gonna, forget what you watch, what did I watch. We're not gonna do that today, I'm afraid. We're gonna jump straight into it.
Football is what you watched and what I watched, isn't it?
That is the only thing that matters once the weekend is over, is discussing the football that we've watched many reviews on, and we watch reviews on those reviews. So this is our review on it, all right?
Yeah.
Now, it's serious, right, when I've just introduced my Yamaha little pocketbook, okay?
Oh.
So obviously for listeners, because you're not watching.
Are we being sponsored?
My Yamaha shit. Do you think we'll be in the studio? Maybe we'd be in the studio.
I need a new bike.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'd be in the studio, bro. But no, so I've got my little Yamaha pocketbook right now. I decided to use this for taking little notes, watching matches, just, So now, going from, just making little notes, I've literally written about 6 pages just over the weekend because it's warranted. It's so much shit happened over the weekend in football. It's just unbelievable. So, Rick, before we get into it, did you catch any of it?
I watched some of it.
Question number 1.
I didn't watch all of it.
But
I watched some of it.
Now, which parts did you watch? Which half of which match did you watch?
Which half of which? Exactly. Yeah. Now I knew you were going to mention it. No, we had to do a family shop. So I missed the first half of Chelsea, as you saw, because I saw in the group chat when you were like, "Oh, he's gone quiet because is he a penalty or red card or whatever you guys were talking about." I don't even know what you guys are talking about. And
you know what we're talking about. You just read the messages.
How convenient he went quiet, and I was like, "Lads, this is my current view." And I'm just trying to do other supermarkets are available. It's just the one that we like to shop.
Yes. Yes.
And,
Sainsbury's, by the way.
Our
just
local,
people,
by the way. It's not even anything else. But yeah, it's our local. So we just went to the local Sainsbury's. So I only caught the second half. I didn't catch the first half.
I tried
to watch it
Convenient.
back. If it's Chelsea one, I try to catch a lot of it back on digital. Obviously, we've been Albania.
Of course.
Where you can fast forward it and stuff. So I try to fast forward into certain bits. But it was difficult because I wanted to watch the full match. But anyway, I saw the highlights of the first half, or extended highlights.
Okay, do you know what? We'll start with your team because I feel like I've got a lot to say about my team. So we'll start off with your team.
Okay, start right with.
We obviously.
What did you think? Obviously, you watched it all. What did you think first of all?
Okay, so for listeners and for yourself actually, because I don't. Yeah. So yesterday, whilst the match was going on, we basically had to build a little canvas because we got like a little painting in Albania and stuff like that. So we built a little canvas for it, like the frame.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, in and out of the match, but I watched the majority of it, enough to have an opinion, I guess, right?
Yes.
So I was interested to see, even though we've discussed many a times how Reece James isn't just going to get in the team, is he? Nah, he's not going to walk in the team, is he? But that's exactly what he did. He walked directly into the team. Yep. He shoved someone. I probably didn't have to shove anyone, just walk straight in there. There you go. There's my position. I'm in. Okay? Now, I'll be honest, I can't really say anything bad about him from yesterday's match. He was all right. Wasn't heard from much, but he was all right. So, which is kind of good. So, if you don't really hear from a player, is that a bad thing? No, I think they're doing the job right.
Yeah, no, he did all right.
So, yeah, he did well, and I don't think he was any part of the loss. Do you know what I mean? Like people watching, they're not going to be like, Reece James is the reason for it.
Wasn't Reece James, no.
Definitely not. So
I saw one half, and I know that wasn't the reason.
Yes, yeah. I mean, look, the thing is, it's difficult for me because not to take it personally, the Chelsea match, because of what happened and the similarities in tackles and fouls near the halfway line, which I'm sure you've caught up with and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I saw that, but yeah, I've got.
But before we even get into that, I feel like it was an interesting match. It was quite good. I wouldn't say Liverpool dominated or anything like that. It was fair, for the majority of it. And I think the main difference really was probably Curtis Jones in this match. He was, I feel like, the difference maker, and he brought a lot to the team going forward, tracking back, making space for everyone, especially for Szoboszlai to find him. So it was, it was good performances from both teams. So it was a bit. Did Liverpool deserve to win 2-1? I don't know if they did, but even if Chelsea won 2-1, I probably would have said the same thing. So it's kind of like
yeah.
I know it's obviously you don't want to hear it, but it's kind of like a fair result. Do you know what I mean? If it went the other way, it still would have been a fair result. Or if it even as do you know what I mean? So either way, yeah, both teams put up a good performance, enough to say that either one of them deserved to win or whatever. So yeah, and then obviously we'll touch on that incident. Now, I want to hear your thoughts, right? Because you're a Chelsea fan, I want to hear your thoughts on that.
On what, the whole thing, or just the incident itself?
No, just the incident itself. So,
it was very similar to how your boy got sent off. Like it was very, very similar. It was effectively a yard or two, maybe a yard further back. If you're getting the ruler up, probably millimeters further back or something along those lines. But he was very, very lucky to still be on the pitch. I noticed a lot of pundits and a lot of analysis that goes going on and saying Colwill is right there, he's right, but he's just...
Ben White was right there, though, wasn't he?
Well, exactly. So there you go. So there's the other flip side of the argument. But it always seems to be inconsistencies with refereeing, because if Saliba was a red card, Tosin should have been a red card. But no buts, by the way. This isn't a but to kind of make an excuse for him. You just lacked experience. I don't know. Maybe he should not have started that game.
Yeah,
but
that's under the coach.
That's under the coach. But if we're just talking on the incident alone, like that is, I'm happy he stayed on because it didn't ruin the chances for us.
Of course.
But if you're looking out, rather than being a Chelsea fan and take the Chelsea hat off, very, very lucky to get away with that. Very, very lucky to get away with that. Because for me, that would have been a red. If it was the other way around, I'd be screaming the same thing as you. I'd be like, well, he got sent off. Why hasn't Gabriel, what's his name? Kanate or Van Dijk been sent off?
Yeah.
So I can't be a hypocrite on that one. That was, for me, it was a red. It should have been a straight red if Saliba's was a straight red.
Well, that's the thing. With Saliba's obviously a yellow card, and then he had to go and consult with VAR. He had to go and see it with his own eyes, and then he retracted the yellow and gave a red.
The thing is, I don't understand why he went to VAR. This is the thing I struggle with. Was it endangering the player that he made the wrong decision? No. Did VAR intervene for him to say, like, we think it should be a red? What was said in his ear to be like, actually, we recommend you go view it? Because if they say, we think he's the last man, the referee would have clearly seen he was the last man. And he still thought, yellow card, because last man at halfway line is not really a goal-scoring opportunity.
And that's the interesting question, isn't it? Like, what was actually said to him? And obviously, look, because we all love conspiracies, and everyone's like, "Oh, Howard Webb was in the stand." No, I'm not going to get into that. Like, in seriousness, I'm not going to get into that.
No smoke without fire.
But exactly.
I'm joking. Go on. I'm just trying to gaslight you.
No. Again, I'm a fair fan. I've told you this before. I've said this many times before. But yeah, so I think it was very, very similar. I mean, the only thing that could have probably got him away with that was the fact that he was just over the halfway line, like just over, as in like, he sort of grabbed him in his own half, and then by the time he went down, it was in the, it went in the opponent's half. So Liverpool.
Which one is this? Is this the
Tosin one?
Chelsea one? Yeah.
So I think that's probably, that's just clutching at straws there, grasping at straws. Sorry, like, I don't think that's the case, but that could have been it. It's like, oh well, the foul technically happened in his own half. In the opponent's half. Do you know what I mean? By the time he went down, then it can be like, oh, it was the last man. Do you know what I mean? So maybe something along those lines. But that's the thing. It's, again, we're sat here once again talking about consistency or lack of, and it's like, well, okay, at least go consult with VAR. Go consult with VAR. Go have a look. Come back. If you still think it's a yellow card, fair dues. But at least you went and had a look. You know what I mean? Like when you consider two instances that are exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? Okay, 99% the same. So at the very least, as a VAR official or as Howard Webb, you know, after being there the day before and watching a similar incident, do you know what I mean? That's when it's like, that's when you need to step in and just be like, look, at the very least, go have a look at this. Go see it with your own eyes.
And that's all we're asking for as well.
And then if you think nothing happened, it is a yellow card, fair dues, stick with it, nice one. At least you want to have a look.
That's the other thing though as well. Have the cojones to be, no, I think my decision is right. Because especially for a red card to send somebody off, it is a big decision that you must make. Not only because of what you're doing to the player, but the fact that you're ruining the game for everybody else to watch the game.
And the next game.
There's plenty of neutrals. Well, for that bit, that's what I mean for the player in terms of he's going to miss the next 3 matches or 2 matches, however he misses with a red card. I think it's 3, isn't it? Now straight red is 3-match ban.
Yeah, but they said, I did read that it could be down to 1-match ban because of the fact that it was a yellow first. But again, I'm not too sure.
But didn't the yellow get rescinded?
He did. He got a straight red.
He got a straight red. Yeah, because the same thing happened with Kudos as well for Tottenham, didn't it? That's speaking of red card. He got a yellow, and then he went to see to the monitor.
Yeah, but okay, sorry. That's an interesting point that you just made there, right? Okay, so we're looking at a player who physically attacked someone, or 3 people he physically attacked. And then we look at Saliba getting a 3-match ban for something that, again, when you actually watch it back, he did genuinely trip. Fair enough, it's a foul. I'm not saying, whatever.
Yeah, he reset
it's a foul. It's a foul.
Just talking on the fact
that's what we're arguing
card.
about. Yeah, exactly. So when you think of the 2 instances of Kudus and Saliba, and then you think, oh shit, one of them literally assaulted someone. You could actually get arrested for assaulting someone. Do you know what I mean?
You do that outside of a football pitch, you're getting arrested.
You're getting arrested, you assaulted me. And obviously Saliba tripped over someone, and fair enough, wasn't his fault. No, so but we'll get back to Arsenal shortly. So that incident for me, that really hit home a little bit too close, because it's like, I've just watched this. I've watched this same situation yesterday, and then now we're watching this where it's completely gone the other way, and you just again, I don't even know what to say anymore. You know, it's just speechless. And I just sort of I just turned my back on the TV when I saw that. I was like, whatever, man, whatever. This isn't right. Do you know what I mean? Same as the City match as well.
I felt like the referee was weak though in the game as well, in the sense that obviously hear me out first. Now I saw a little few reviews and plays and so on of when Jadon Sancho's ankle got kicked by the bar line. To me, that's a penalty. A kick is a kick, right? So that's a penalty. And I thought when the referee let that go, Jadon Sancho didn't know how to sell it. Maybe he didn't scream loud enough. Yeah. But then the penalty that they received with, what's his name? Jones, when Levi Colwill went in. Yeah. That for me was a similar situation to what just he went. He just gave in to the pressure. I thought John Brooks just gave in, because I was the referee yesterday, wasn't it? John Brooks. He's the one who, I felt like he just gave in to the crowd, because the crowd cheered the loudest there. Yeah. And he got the penalty. What was a bit more of a penalty was the second attempt at taking Jones out by the keeper. Do you know, the one that didn't get given as a penalty? Yeah. Where they were like, he nipped the ball, the stud touched the ball. That's more of a penalty than the first one where Levi Colwill got him. So I don't know whether maybe they thought like, karma or something, he can't have this one because we gave him a soft one earlier. For me, it was a soft penalty. I know Levi Colwill was naive and stupid trying to win that ball or try to clear it as hard as he could, but he barely touched Jones. And this is the problem. We need referees to be strong enough to, if there are slight touches on the pitch, none of this BS, I was running at full pace. You weren't running if you're turning around or something. You can't go down as if you've been shot from the stands. Because even the Sancho one, I didn't think it was a penalty. But when I saw Jones's one get given, I was like, well, that's a penalty. Then if that got given, the previous one should have been given. Do you know what I mean? He clipped his ankles the same way. Like, it's a penalty for both. But nevertheless, overall though, bro, like if we just move away from referee's decisions, same as you, I was very, very surprised into why Reece James started. But to be fair, he did all right. He didn't do too bad. Considering first game back, and a little bit disappointed that he started, because by 60th minute they took him off, and I was like, maybe this is in the game you play Reece James, a high intensity game. You play Gusto on that side, who's been.
This is where he gets injured, isn't it? This is an injury game.
This is the thing, but obviously if he can stay fit, he's a top quality defender, because he's got the skill. The only thing we all take the piss out of him about, it's not because he's shite, it's because he gets injured all the time. He plays one match in 4 seasons. Yeah. So, which is like probably the highest paid athlete game, like which we said it. We said so long ago.
Yeah, we did. That's right. But that's how it works out on average.
Yeah, but the formation for me, I would have liked Reece James to possibly be on the bench and come on a little bit later on. Yeah, play Gusto, play Renato not Sanchez. What's his name? I forgot his name. Vega. Anyway, Vega. Thank you. Renato play Vega. Renato Vega. Get him to play, because he's been doing okay. But what I really enjoyed by Liverpool, how they were able to change tactically within the game, they were able to change it multiple. They were going long on the ball when we were trying to press them and play a high line. Then they were putting pressure on us when the young boys came on, like Renato Vega came on, Gusto changed to the right, putting pressure on the ball so we don't play it out from the back. We did all right, bro. Like, if you just look at the stats as well, obviously I've got a few points I want to discuss, but if you just look at stats alone, possession, we're better on possession, 57 to 42, 57.5 to 42.5. Shots on target, this is where they were more clinical with 5 and 2. Shots, altogether shots, they had 9, we had 12. So again, we need to do something about why are we throwing it here, there and everywhere. Passes and touches, we're better than them on both. So obviously we did more than that. They did more tackles, clearly, because we had more possession of the ball. They did more clearances than us, 18 to 11. We had more corners than 5 to 1. And they had 5 offsides to nothing. So they were playing that on that last defender all the time and using that pace. But what I really enjoyed by Liverpool, like I said to you, is tactically to change. No more of this high-intensity team we're playing against Chelsea. Like, hold on a minute. We demanded a little bit of respect from Liverpool when Pochettino's teams may have not, Graham Potter's, etc. But obviously, Arnie was looking at it saying, like, hold on there here. Varesca might be... No, I'm joking. Varesca. I was trying to play on that Varesca stuff. But Varesca is doing okay, you know? Like, I was happy. I was happy with that fact, but I just would have liked a few other bits and bobs to change. One key thing doing, there was no need for Gusto to drop into midfield. If Liverpool is sitting back and making it tight, we should have had Sancho come as a second striker. Yeah. You need the wingers to be right at the back, don't you? You need the width. So Sancho was staying wide, but that left my boy Jackson with 2 defenders on him, Kanata and Virgil. Virgil is at his best when he doesn't have to do Falco, just clear up. Yeah, that's Virgil's bread and butter. As soon as Virgil's put under any pressure, he turns around and he panics, and everybody's like, "Oh, what's Virgil doing?" So what he should have done is move Sancho from left wing or left winger, left striker to centre forward with Jackson, and move Gusto up higher. If because Palmer got outplayed in the game, because Palmer, where was it? Was he even playing? Because he got man-marked the whole match. He couldn't do nothing.
Jones was on him.
Jones was on him like a shadow. So then what you do is by that. So there's first movement is move the Sancho into an attacking position. Second movement, bring Gusto higher up rather than in midfield. Keep the width. And thirdly, if nobody's putting pressure on the ball, drive the ball into midfield. Do what that Lucio used to do. Do you remember Lucio for Inter Milan in Brazil? Nobody's on me. I'm going to drive forward with it. Yeah. Because somebody's on Palmer constantly. That player is occupied on Cole Palmer because the manager has clearly told him, you stay on Cole Palmer, which is great tactics, but then utilise that. If Palmer gets the ball, there were 2 on him all the time. That means we had a 1 player free somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we had to, I think with that
this is the only bit to take it to that next level. I'm still happy with what we did, but just to go,
with that level of intensity that's required to face the Liverpool team, I think maybe you could even go down to the fact that he just doesn't trust the players that he has right now to do that, because maybe too much space, tracking back is becomes an issue. So, and again, that's where mistakes start happening.
We were playing a high line though. We were playing a really high line. I don't know if you watched parts of it, but we were like, there was no player in the halfway line for us because we were literally in their box, and this was in the first half. From what I saw, maybe it might have been a 5-minute clip. And the second half as well, of course, because we were chasing the goal. But for us, the moment Liverpool scored first, our heads went down. We equalised. We looked like, okay, we're going to win this game. And then they scored again, and our heads went down again. And credit to Curtis Jones, running from deep. That is like a Frank Lampard role. Run from deep. Then while they're playing a high line against the defender and trying to offside trap, just run from deep and go and get a goal. And he clearly did. So well done to him. But no, I'm happy. I'm happy with what's happened. But the changes that I mentioned of that little tactical formation would be for me to take it to that next level to elevate the game even further.
Yeah, I agree. I think Chelsea are really improving. To be honest, I mean, I can't even remember what the predictions were, but we'll do them right at the end.
I think I had 3-1 Chelsea.
Did you? Yeah, I think I had 3-1 Liverpool. Maybe I can't remember. I don't know. I'll have a look. But yeah, no, I think good team and a team to sort of keep an eye on, really, because for the rest of us, because obviously that's your team, but to keep an eye on, because they'll do little damages here and there, but those little damages will obviously all of a sudden add up, because especially for Arsenal, we lost against Bournemouth, we need to pick ourselves up next match. Like, next Premier League match needs to be a win. Like, you can't drag on with another loss. So again, and if it does, then it'll just, again, it's just the Arsenal of normal. Do you know what I mean? Up until December, we're shit, and then January hits, and then we do well, and it's like, oh, we lost by 2 points. Yes, because you lost 3 matches, one against fucking Bournemouth. But anyway,
well, we've got Newcastle, so we definitely need to pick ourselves up. We're at home against Newcastle, so
we've got
that
Liverpool
is going to
next,
be
so,
a tough game. Yeah, you guys have got Liverpool, we've got Newcastle at home. So really, both teams are facing tough fixtures. Newcastle got beat, so they need to kind of do have a reaction against Chelsea, some form of performance. And for us, we got beat, that we need to do something in front of our fans.
Yeah,
which is going to be really interesting. I'm really hoping for Reece James to stay fit this year, though. I really like Reece James, and you guys know how I feel about Reece James, and I really need him to stay fit this year because he is a quality footballer. And you ask other professionals when they're on podcasts, I think Carl Walker was one podcast, and he said, "Who's your ideal player, or who do you think is the best right back in the world?" Like any given day, prime, he says Reece James is the best right back in the world. He has everything. This is Carl Walker speaking. And then he says, I would have my pace, Hakeem's speed, etc. He puts everybody together, Trent's passing and so on, Reece James's brain. But obviously that's impossible to do all that, and it's not realistic. Whereas if I was to have one player who is as close to as the player that I've just created with everybody's attributes, would be Reece James. And I was like, that's fucking right, Kyle. That's fucking right.
Right, well, you know, they keep himself fit for at least 2 seasons consistently, and then, fair enough.
If he keeps himself for 2 seasons, I will win the league next year.
Bold statement, sure. All right, cool. Well, you know, we haven't come to our half year or end of year predictions for the next season. So, but look, Chelsea, yes, I thought it was an interesting match. It was a decent match to watch. It was, you know, action from both sides, really interesting. And Arne Slot, he scares me a little bit because that guy just keeps on winning, man. He keeps on winning, and he's got them. He's got them really, really moving now, and it's a bit scary, to be fair. Because, again, I go back to my point where it's like, well, if Arne Slot wins in his first Premier League, if he wins his league, it's...
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's tough to swallow. Like, genuinely, that is tough to swallow. Like,
no, I totally agree with you.
And again, I don't speak, as you know, I don't speak for other Arsenal fans because some of them are just completely delusional. But, yeah, I just think if that happens, then the end has to happen as well. Because what else? What else is there? Do you know what I mean? Like a coach who just came from a different league that's not even classed in the top 5 league. He just walked straight into Liverpool. Boom, done.
Yeah, bearing in mind Liverpool finished 3rd as well, so it's not like they won the league and he's not having to change a lot.
Exactly.
They finished 3rd last year and the year before.
Yeah.
And if he wins the league with that is a huge achievement for Arne Slot.
100%. And I think so far he seems a good coach. He seems to care about the players. He seems very passionate. Obviously on the touchline, he had a couple of like, you know, exploding moments where it's like, doing all this with the ref. I thought that was brilliant.
That was the shoulder to shoulder between Nunes and what was it, Buddy Shield or something?
That's right.
And then they were both like, and I saw Arne Slot as well. And
I
like that. I like the managers
well.
who do that. I don't like managers who just sit there and go like a bit like Ange Postecoglou, zero reaction, Pochettino, zero reaction. I like my Contes running up and down the pitch. I like my Tuchels. I like the Arne Slot that is there. Pep does it sometimes, but he sits more down. Mourinho's Klopp did it more often. Now Teta's doing it as well.
Mourinho.
Now the Mourinho, that's the Porto win, brother. That's that Porto in Manchester. Do you know what I mean?
No one does them runs. And no one
when he ran
crowd.
onto the pitch as well when Inter beat Barca, and he's running onto the pitch going the number one finger in the air, going number one. Love Jose.
Too good. No, I really enjoyed Jose Mourinho. But anything else you want to add on Chelsea, by the way, before we move on?
The only thing I wanted to talk a little bit about very quickly was Tosin, like starting the game. I was a bit disappointed. He's a good footballer. He's got a bright future ahead of him, but I wanted somebody with a bit more experience in that position.
Do you put on
Badiashile, maybe if the intent is to bring Badiashile on at some point, put Badiashile from the start. But I don't think he trusts Badiashile. That's the only thing, because obviously Fofana and Cucurella would have been our 2 starters, but because a yellow card each the previous game, they meant they missed Liverpool. But because Badiashile is quite slow on his feet. I don't know if you've noticed that as well. Like when he first came, I was like, this guy's good, he's calm, he's this. But when you're trying to play that high intensity and get the ball, quick transitions from defence to midfield to attack, he's a bit slow and a bit sideways with his passes. And I'm like, oh, come on, bro. Like, you were really good last year. Like, you were the one who I was raving about. I was like, give this guy another season.
Both.
But yeah, both of them we were doing, actually. You're right. Yeah, we both did it. But for me, because then I think that's what led to the challenge as well. Like, you didn't need to make that challenge and give the referee a decision to make, you know? That lack of experience was like,
but that's
it. And that's the only thing that we missed.
You've got to give time to these players, man. Like, you know, Saliba went out for 3 years before he joined Arsenal.
No, he did, exactly. And that's the one thing I was going to mention as well. Saliba wasn't even in his squad for 3 years,
exactly,
was he? And then look at him now, arguably the best in the league. The best, not one, but the best in the league, I think.
You know,
and I I think you guys are really going to miss him. But we'll get into you guys now, and I think this is a good segue into Arsenal.
I love it. I love it.
How are you feeling? How
That
are
segue
you
was
feeling
smooth,
after?
man.
Yeah, you good? You
Like
like
a
that?
smooth curve.
Yeah,
that was a
straight
smooth
down
curve.
that.
That's a,
no Yamaha
shit,
in this, but
love that shit.
this
love
is
that
a
shit.
this is
Yeah,
an
but
old
the only
2020
problem is with the
diary.
Yamaha, even though I can carry it everywhere, I have to like sort of put it close to my face because you can see how small it is.
Yeah.
So I have to be like, oh yeah, what did I write? Yeah, so.
What is
but
that?
yeah,
Like opened out? It's like an A8, A6. What is that? Like
I
size?
don't even think numbers go that low, to be honest.
No.
Do you know what? I don't even. Yeah, it's got like a little pouch on the back though, which is quite cool for
For your
some
card
reason.
or for your pen, for your tiny little pencil.
But
At first, I thought it was a Bible or something. I thought you carried like a little mini Bible with you, like
Well,
about to read me a verse.
after watching yesterday's match and watching them refs, I really, really needed it. So there you go. There's a segue for you as well.
There we go.
Oh shit! Right? Okay. No. Genuinely. Okay. No.
No, come on. So you watched the game. I'll be honest, I didn't watch the game. I wanted to watch the game. I watched from before the goal scored. So I think the lads who came on the second half, I didn't see the red card or anything. Because I rang you and I was like, why has he brought Raheem Sterling off at 35 minutes? And you're like,
yes,
because he needed to, man. You know, because obviously I was going,
absolutely,
which we'll touch on. And I was like, what? Why is Sterling coming on?
Okay, look, Martinelli was on the bench.
Start me on.
Martinelli was on the bench. He had a bit of a knock during the international break. My boy Odegaard's injured. My boy Saka's injured.
When's he back, by the way? When's Odegaard and Saka back?
I don't know. It doesn't
Nobody
matter at
knows.
this point. It doesn't matter at this point. Saka, my boy, he's injured as well, even though it said that he wasn't going to be, but he was apparently, so he didn't start. Obviously, hence the Sterling starting. It was Rick. The thing is, the team selection. Obviously, he had to put on who he had to put on. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, you got no Saka. Who else are you going to put on? Jesus, don't really trust him. I'd rather have Sterling because he's a bit of an unknown for the Arsenal team, right? Even though we know him as a player, a bit of an unknown. What Arteta asks of him. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't have any issues with the starting 11. Trossard on the left for Martinelli. Like I said, that was again usually that's. You know, I like that. That gives me confidence when I see Trossard on the pitch. But it seems like with Trossard, when he starts out wide on the left, like in Martinelli's position, he struggles a little bit to get into the game. However, when he starts in that Kai Havertz middle of the pitch position, do you know what I mean? That between that 8-10 sort of role, he's really good there because he's quite quick on his feet. He's quite agile.
So you say when you say that between 8 and 10, you mean the 9? Or do you mean 8 and 10 more like a cam?
Yeah, more like the position of like because the thing is,
not
it's
quite
not
a cam, but somewhere in between CM and cam. Okay,
that's it. Yeah, it's not because most of these players, not just with Arsenal, like they don't really have like a set traditional position like we're used to, like CM and stuff like. Do you know what I mean? We refer to it as CM because it makes it easier for us.
That's what we used to. Yeah.
But for them, it's like CM, CAM, CMM, all that type of stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's all of it in one, whatever it is. So anyway, when he's in that role, he does quite well. Almost like remember Xhaka, the box to boss? Box to boss. Yeah, box to boss, man. That's what he did.
Box to box, boss in it.
Exactly. So box to box. So he's quite good at that. But yeah, on the left, he kind of struggles, especially when he starts. If he comes in the second half, he can see the game, and he's quite clever like that. He watches the game from the bench, and he can slot into where he needs to be. But for some reason, on Saturday, his brain just did not want to function. Do you know what I mean? Like, he just couldn't link up with anyone at all. Like, he stayed on the pitch for so long, even after the mistake that he made with the back pass. And it's like, Mick, you need to change now. You need to make a change, especially. Obviously, I'm glad that he put Kivior on for Sterling. But at the same time, Kivior came on, but Kivior made the mistake for the second goal. Like, that led to the penalty. Sorry.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
So, it's like, it's literally everything that he did in terms of changes, he lost out. Do you know what I mean? Trossard for Martinelli, bad pass, Saliba gets sent off, Kivior comes on, all that type of stuff. So again, it wasn't a good day at all, like any way you look at it. And I'm not going to, again, as I said in the group, I can't make any excuses. That incident with Saliba, as we discussed with the Chelsea one, we compared it, it was a red card. However, give the red card straight away. Do you know what I'm saying? Give the red card straight away.
Give it straight away. None of this.
Yeah, don't interfere. It's not in the box. It's not the opponent's box. And even the refs have said, the PGMOL have said that we're not going to be as strict anymore with stuff outside of the actual, goal box, like where the shit happens, where the action is. Do you know what I mean? Halfway line, that doesn't constitute for an action-packed area. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't. So yes, I understand goal-scoring opportunity, fair dues. Oh, sorry, but before I carry on, I did actually read on Twitter and threads that people were like, oh well, Ivan Nilsson was offside. Okay, I'm just going to explain to people who don't know how that works. okay, it can't be offside if the player from the same team passes it back and then the opponent touches it. That's not an offside. Okay, so please, Arsenal fans, I know you obviously you want to make excuses and you want your justifications. That is not one of them. Okay, let's just be real. Don't be stupid. You're making us look like idiots. All right. So that happened. Saliba obviously tried to do what he tried to do. Yeah, and then it's like he got away with a yellow. And genuinely, I was sat here, I was thinking, oh my God, you can't believe he got away with a yellow there. Because again, it was one of those moments where it's like, even without VAR, in the times without VAR, chances are that's going to be a red. Do you know what I'm saying? Because again, it's not like he was 100% clear to go and get the ball and then obviously in a clear goal scoring opportunity. Ben White was there on the other side. However, because I can't see alternate universes, right? I don't know how that would have ended. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if Ben White would have got there. Same as the ref wouldn't have known either, like the VAR. Do you know what I'm saying? So if it's like, oh, well, I don't know either way, stick with the yellow. Stick with the yellow. It was the fairest thing. Do you know what I'm saying? It was the fairest thing.
Yeah, I think we need to hear sorry to interrupt you. I think we need to hear the ref's conversation between when they're talking about VAR. So once the referee gets sent to the monitor, we need to hear that dialogue. Yeah. I think that's really important. Like, you brought him to the monitor. What for, first of all? Yeah. What have you seen that the rest of us mere mortals have missed while you've been looking at a 360 angle, slow-mo, 1.5 speed, etc. And then see what they say. And then that way we can critique it better or we can understand it better.
Yeah.
Because if he says...
It's like, all right, cool,
exactly, we
just
understand it. Be like, do you know what? That you've just helped me understand that. Yeah. So yeah, now I'm not going to be like, you're this, you're biased, you're so on. So because if they did that, like I just said, we would literally understand it much, much better. Even better to critique it or better to not critique it at all. So that is a must, by the way. See, that is just like they do in rugby.
See, this is the thing now, because again, when you look at the Saliba foul, he tripped, right? Like he was trying to run around the defender, obviously caught his legs. Whether he meant to do that or not, I don't know. It took him down. So that's irrelevant, right? But then you look at the tossing one and then you think, well, you pulled his shirt. Like you pulled him.
Grabbing him by the shoulders and neck or wherever he was grabbing.
I don't think it was the neck. So let's just be, I'm going to be fair. So it wasn't the neck.
Okay, no, be fair. You see, I didn't watch it live, but yeah.
It doesn't matter. The shirt was pulled. So that's a clear, stopping the goal scoring opportunity. Like a massive attempt, right? So that's the difference. It's like, okay, well, how do you not go to the monitor just to be like, oh, well, he pulled his shirt. Okay, let me go have a look. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you said with the Saliba thing. Just tell me what you saw at VAR. What did you see that you had to bring the ref back?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? If the ref just gave a foul and walked away with just a foul, not a yellow card, then it's like, all right, cool. That's why you went to see it. Is it worth a yellow or whatever it is? Yeah, but just the way that they did it, it just seems a bit suspect. And again, it doesn't help us as Arsenal fans when we've had like the 3 worst red cards that you've ever seen ever in football history. So again,
what was the 3? Who's the 3? You had
it was Rice
with the second yellow kick of the ball, whatever it was.
Toe flick.
Yeah. That's why I'm doing the little click.
You got a little toe flick going on, and the other one was Trossard, where he was in the middle of kicking the ball, and the ref decided.
Yeah.
So
that was your second.
Ridiculous.
And then got rescinded, or didn't he? Got reversed, and he could play the next game because we're like that wasn't a red card, or did he actually?
No, he served that shit, didn't he? He served that shit. He served that. Yeah, he had to serve that. So. But yeah, so again, it's that side of things. It's like, okay, well, look, what we can't help but think the way we're thinking because of the evidence that's laid out in front of us. Yep. That's it, right?
I agree 100%. If that was against my team, I'd be feeling the same thing. I think what it is, though, if we just took quickly on it, refs need to communicate to the rest of the fans and at least everybody else who's on the pitch. They do it in rugby, so I don't know why the ref can't press it. They do it in American football as well, where they talk about number 56 held, whatever, there's a flag on the pitch. They can do the same. In rugby, they say, can you show me a different angle? Yeah, hold it there. Can you fast play it for me, please? So like if it was you and you're at VAR, I'd be like, Larry, just slow that down. Can you play it again? Can you give me a different angle? So that I know I make the decision rather than you make the decision for me and be like, we think it's a red card because. Tell me that. Okay, let me see why. Because I make the decision at the end. It's my name on the team sheet, on the match day sheet when I hand the red card out, it'll say, Ricky handed a red card to so-and-so. So
you need your justification.
That needs to happen. Yeah,
I want to see the justification that he wrote down. You know what I mean? And it's not just like, clear goal scoring opportunity. Fine. Okay. I like your explanation.
It's too far.
Now, can you go back to the other match and do the same, please? In hindsight, can you go do that retrospectively? No, you can't do that. So again, it's kind of like an irrelevant point to make now because obviously it's happened and the match bans will be served, unfortunately, and I'm hoping that they will appeal it to 1 rather than 3, just on the basis of that it was non-violent conduct. Do you know what I'm saying? It was anyway. So going back to it, yeah. So Trossard obviously made that mistake. Saliba had to react, and unfortunately he made that mistake as well. Like, look, at the end of the day, he's 22-year-old, sorry, 23. So again, yes, he's got experience, but he's still inexperienced for a defender because he's still young. Do you know what I'm saying? So he knows next time it's like, do you know what? Fuck it, let him run. I'll catch up to him. And I genuinely think he would have caught up to him. And the fact that, again, David Raya would have come into play and Ben White would have come into play. Do you know what I mean? So it wouldn't have been as easy. But again, hindsight. Do you know what I mean? This is with watching many replays of certain players and certain angles, and you think, all right, yeah, okay, in hindsight, yes, this is what should have happened. But at that moment in time, he reacted. So that was a bit of a shame.
Referee should have. If it was a football guy as well, sometimes when they think about this kind of stuff, is we know ourselves, if you're running with the ball, you're a lot slower than the person running without the ball. Absolutely. Regardless of, unless you're a damn betrayer, then obviously you're a freak of nature.
Yeah.
But the referee should have just thought, this is not a goal-scoring opportunity.
Exactly.
Clear and obvious goal-scoring opportunity. Because that's the key word, clear goal-scoring opportunity. Because he was edge of the box, fair enough. 2 yards, shot on goal.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
but halfway line, not even past the semicircle.
It wasn't even past the semicircle, mate.
Yeah, and that's not a red card. That's not a red card. But I've just quickly read something here saying because Saliba faces up to 3-game suspension for receiving a straight red card, but since his foul was professional and not deemed violent or dangerous, he will only miss 1 Premier League match. But the one match he's missing.
So check it out, right? So check it out. So we had a suspension in Declan Rice during the derby, during the North London derby.
Yeah.
And that happened the match before for, again, something very, very stupid, for a toe flick, right?
Yeah.
And then during the Man City match, the extra time, what was it? Did we get a red card on that as well? I can't remember.
Yeah,
we got a red card on that. That was Trossard, sorry. Yeah, that was the
Trossard
red card. So again, another red card, which fucked us up in that match. And then now, obviously, we get this situation where Saliba misses another important match. A good defender or a great player that we have misses an important match. So again, it just seems to be like a little bit of a pattern forming. And again, that's I know that's in the realms of conspiracy, and that's not something that I would.
You're not fueling it, are you?
No, I would not fuel that. No, that's just for me thinking. And sometimes, that's why I got angry. And I'm glad that we had the 24 hours or 48 hours in between the Arsenal match and this podcast. Because, again, I had a chance to listen to other people and obviously read certain things. But nothing has changed. Like, everything that I was thinking, I'm still thinking. And the worst thing is that I don't have an answer for the red card or the justification. So anyway.
This one's cost you more, though, because you don't really have a direct replacement. So obviously, if you break it down, Declan Rice red card, you still won that game, I think. Or did you draw against Brighton? I believe you won, didn't you?
We won against Brighton.
No, you won against Brighton. You drew against Brighton at home? You drew
sure
against Brighton. Okay, so you didn't drop points. You drew against Brighton. Just double check that so we give the listeners a clear thing. Against City away, you were winning. Unlucky to concede so late in the match. But again, it was a red card, but you walked away with some points. That you didn't miss on any points. Whereas
we drew against Brighton, by the way.
You drew against Brighton. Okay, so you picked up points against there, picked up points at the other side, albeit being 1 point each in each match. Whereas now on this one, you lost 3 points, and you're going to miss a player who you don't really have a like-for-like replacement or give you what Saliba gives you at the back. So you've lost the match, and you're going to miss Saliba against Liverpool. And is Liverpool away or at home?
I believe Liverpool is away.
Away?
Away the lads.
Your way or
away the
away?
lads. No, it's at home. So it's at the Emirates. It's at the Emirates.
Home.
Yeah.
So you were saying our way, yeah?
Our way.
Our way.
Yeah.
No. So that's the only thing. But I can completely understand your point on the inconsistency, the red cards, why people would think like, is there a vendetta against Arsenal?
It just leads
to those questions, and it leads to those thought processes, which is understandable. But Look,
Look, hey,
you know what I mean? It just makes you think sometimes, and that. No, I don't mean that. I mean like it does make you think sometimes.
It does, yeah. And that's the beauty of football.
If you're going to obviously critique, you try to look at home. You say, why was Trossard on for so long? If Trossard is playing so well as between an 8 and a 10, which established is not a 9, but it's that kind of fluid CM cam role. Not even a false 9. He just plays around that area.
It's like a 8.76.
That way
to a 9.2. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's not really a 9. Just over an 8, but not really a 9.
He's on those parameters. That's it. He's not an outlier, but he's between those 8.76.
Exactly. When you actually get the tape measure out, you can see it in that. Yeah.
He's there. It says Trossard.
Exactly. That's it. No, it's a little picture of it.
That's it.
And that's how you measure it. It's like you measure it in Trossards.
Yeah, that's it. Love it. But if that's the case, then why didn't Arteta play him there? Why would Arteta play Sterling and not start Sterling left where Trossard is and bring Trossard in? Sterling loves playing on the left. Sterling from City was, again, I use that phrase, bread and butter. That was his place, left wing for City. Yeah. At Chelsea, if Arteta listens to Tash Mike guys, I said it many, many times. Raheem Sterling's best position is on the left. Drop Mudryk, drop whoever. You play Sterling if he's on. But yes, I suppose he'll look at that. He'll try to make some adjustments. But
like I said,
it's going to be tough against Liverpool.
The mistakes, obviously, I don't really want to call them mistakes in the starting lineup. It wasn't really a mistake. It was just, that's the players that he thought would do better on the day, which is fair. But against a Bournemouth team, like you said, put Jesus on the right hand side, let him crack on. Sterling on the left, and then you've got at least with Jesus, he drops back so he can give you that extra number 10 or extra midfielder, like creative midfielder. You know what I mean? So yeah, it could have many things could have been changed, and the thing is with that, it just didn't react enough when he brought Nwaneri on at the end. He didn't react quick enough. So that was the other. So again, overall, it just wasn't a good day. Performance. If the performance was excellent, and this happened, then I would be more pissed off. But the fact that we did not perform very well at all, actually, first or second half, 11 or 10 men, it doesn't matter, right? We did not perform well. And I feel part of that is the Trossard on the left. And again, he was on for too long. Mikel Merino, I just don't think against a Bournemouth side who are quite physical and who have got big guys and who will run down the midfield, I just don't think that was the right match for him, or in that position where he was in the creative, and I say that in quotation marks, in that creative position, because there wasn't really a creative player. He had Rice, Partey, and Mikel Merino, and those guys, you want to have them at the base of the midfield to protect your defenders. Do you know what I mean? Not one of them will do what Odegaard does. Not one of them will do what Nwaneri does. And I know he's young, but he's got that movement. He's got that fearlessness where he can be like, shit, I'll run through the middle. Like that Palmer, do you know what I mean? Palmer has that. He's just fearless. He'll do it. Unless he comes up against Curtis Jones, which is you just sort of hit a brick wall, really.
No, for that, I think it was bad management for us, though. Like with Palmer, there's ways you can get around man marking. You know what I mean?
Of course there is.
Bring another player next to Palmer, so then the player feels he has to mark too.
Yeah.
Take Caicedo there, or take Enzo there, or take whoever else.
Enzo came on later, though, didn't he? He came on later.
He came on late, but put the other guy there that started. Do you know what I mean?
Was it Lavia?
Lavia. Take him there. Yeah.
Roman, he was all right. Again, he played all right.
We just had a really, really young team yesterday.
Yeah.
Like a proper.
We still did well with the young team, but. Yeah, so look, with Arsenal, obviously, they got the goal, which it came off the back of Martinelli miss. It should have been a goal. I don't know if you saw that bit of the highlight where he was 1-on-1 against Kepa. Kepa made a bad judgment and error and just passed directly.
The pass, yes.
Yeah, the pass back.
I did see that, yes.
Martinelli, he should have scored that, really. But I just feel like he was too excited to score that he just sort of gave away where he was going to put it.
He saw the headlines.
Yeah,
he saw the headlines.
100%,
He telegraphed all of that.
Yeah, because he was like,
everything was like, I'm going to go to this side.
Yeah, we're down to 10 men. I've just come on.
He went across.
Exactly. Yeah. He knew, kept it. He has his flaws, but he knew exactly where that ball was going. So again, Martinez saw the headlines. We're down to 10 men. I've just come on. I'm going to score and I'm going to be the hero. But take it easy first, right? Get the ball in the back of the net first,
and then be the hero.
So and then be the hero. And then obviously, 30 seconds later, a minute later, up the other end, they get a goal from a corner, from a set piece. Very good goal, by the way, from Ryan Christie.
I saw that.
That was
very
excellent.
well worked as well.
Very well worked.
To the coaching staff. We always give
100%.
Arsenal. Let me bring this mic a bit closer. We always give Arsenal credit about their set pieces and coaching and kind of set players. But
they got a taste of their own medicine.
Very good. Yeah. Basically, yeah.
100% they did. It didn't feel good. It was a good finish though, and fair dues to them. So again, it's a set piece. You can't really be too angry with that because it's not like we left people open. However, on the replay and watching it back, and you think, oh, okay, well, you got taken. What was it, Marino? I think it was in the centre. He got taken away from that position. Gave Ryan Christie a clear shot on goal, and fair dues to him.
I think for me though as well on that one, I think Martinelli, not to blame, but there's a little bit of responsibility on Martinelli because he can see that there's a player on his own in front of him, and he tries to kind of close him down, which is fine. But if you're a man down, you need to. There's maybe a lack of communication. Who's on this guy?
Yeah.
And if you try to split,
That's what it looked like.
players-
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, because he starts walking forward slowly before the corner's even taken. He starts taking little steps forward, steps forward, and before you know it, he's created a yard and a half between where he started to where he is when that ball gets played into Clivert.
Yeah.
But again, nitpicking. These are nitpicking on
No,
how
of course,
to possibly
but-
defend with a 10-man, which you did at City. So that's why I didn't understand. Do you
I
close
think we
shop
were a
or do you
bit-
try to go for the win?
I think with against Bournemouth we were a little bit more open, to be honest. Like, there was a few chances. Like, chances were there, like, going forward sort of thing. But
you mentioned Martinelli and that. Yeah.
But like I said, it wasn't like City where we just sort of sat back and waited for things to happen. No, we tried to make something happen. Kiwior, he made a bad back pass, Jesus Christ. And, Raya, again, had to react to it because there was not much to do. He, again, soft because he didn't, clatter him. Do you know what I mean? It was soft. Penalty, 100%. Not making any excuses. But again, it just that's not something. By the way, I'm saying, they should go look at VAR. No, that's a penalty. That's a penalty.
It doesn't matter how it happens.
It's a penalty. So,
once the player gets touched on their ankle by a keeper, especially if the keeper's down on the floor, there's always a pen straight away. Yeah.
So there was did he touch it? Did he touch it? No, fair enough. It was a penalty. So that's fine. Again, from another mistake, from another player making a mistake and another player having to pay for it. So obviously Clivert steps up, no look shot at the end and puts it away. Fair enough.
No look shot. Is that what he did?
Yeah, he did he sort of, not a no look, but he sort of wasn't even looking at the ball.
Oh, right,
he was looking, so even when he went for the run up, he didn't even look at the ball. He just sort of looked directly where he wanted to put it.
Oh.
So he kind of gave it away with his eyes, but Raya at that point,
Raya didn't pick that up.
It is what it is. So yeah, by that point the match was over anyway, mate. You know what I mean? Because we could not find a way through, and every time we tried to go forward, they kept breaking on us. They do have some fast players like a Semenyo, like a Clivert.
Semenyo was fantastic.
So yeah, he was a very good player. So 2-0, and let me see what superlatives I've written down here. And right, okay. So I've got here. The most important thing, which I will finish on Arsenal with, but Arteta taking Raheem. Okay, good. So I'm finally to this point now. And the point is, as I've mentioned in the group, as you saw from my notes that I made yesterday, there was one particular note that stands out amongst the rest. I don't know if you can remember it, Rick. Would you like to tell the ladies and gents what that note was?
No, I don't remember. You tell. Go on.
It's,
I don't want to take the
I sent it. I sent it in the group, and it was a picture of my notebook, and there was one particular note there that I think you should have remembered.
Yes.
And would you like to tell the ladies and gents what that is?
No, you tell him. Should
I tell the story? I'll tell the story. Okay, let's just not beat around the bush. I'll go straight into it. Let me open my notebook again and read you exactly what I've written, word for word. Word for word, I've written here, Jamie Redknapp is a cunt. And I've underlined cunt, I think. Oh, no, sorry, it's in capitals, so yeah.
For you Southerners, he's saying can't.
Can't, yeah, can't, like a C and an ant. You know what I mean? Like a can't. But so Jamie Redknapp is a cunt, right? Because during the halftime analysis, and
because you said you're going to elaborate on this. Let me sit back. Let me sit back and listen to this.
So bearing in mind, we've watched the replays and stuff like that. Again, the fact that VAR had to get involved and the fact that the ref had to second guess himself because of VAR, nothing was really obvious, right? Nothing was obvious. Yeah. So now in the studio, they were talking. I can't remember who the other person was. Maybe Walcott, I think. Can't remember. Anyway, so in the studio, Jamie Redknapp, he was explaining. He was like, nah, that's a red card all day. That red card all day. That. And again, now I think it was Theo, or maybe I can't remember. Again, I can't remember who the other guy was. Right? It was the host and the other guy. I can't remember. And the other guy was given a point of view. He was like, well, look at Ben White over here. Circled him. He was like, well, Ben White could probably make this, right? So again, we don't know. Like I said 5 minutes ago, we don't know. The ref doesn't know. It's not clear and obvious as far as we're concerned. Even though VAR would make you believe it was. So anyway, so now Redknapp, instead of agreeing or just being like, seeing the other side of the argument, when the other guy was like, well, he could have made it. He was like, nah, you can't make that. No way. That's a red card all day. That. It's just that attitude that I was like, wait a second. The guy's just giving you a different point of view, which makes sense, by the way. He's not saying, it shouldn't have been a red. The other guy, he was agreeing that, yes, it was a red. But now he's offering a different point of view because the ref gave a yellow card first. Do you see what I'm saying?
So based in the eyes of the ref, Ben White is probably next to him.
Exactly. So now, obviously, the ref is there. He's watching the match. He gave a yellow. So as far as we're concerned, the ref has made that decision. But then VAR got involved and second guessed him. if the ref was left alone, I don't think he would have changed that.
Yeah.
Right? That's fair to say, isn't it? He
But
wouldn't
without
have changed
VAR,
that.
Saliba would still be playing.
Exactly. So now, how and why and just why does Jamie Redknapp have to make it as if he 100% saw the alternate universe that I couldn't see? Do you know what I mean? Earlier. And he saw the run that Ben White made, and he knew 100 million% without any shadow of a doubt that Ben White would not have made that run. And it's the cuntishness of former Spurs players, right, that I just
And
cannot
Liverpool
stand.
players.
No, forget Liverpool.
He's
'cause I don't have,
former Liverpool as well.
yeah, I don't have beef. I don't have beef with Liverpool, right? I have beef with former Spurs players who are completely irrelevant, and I've said this to you before, and I think it was the first pod back. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that's why I feel Jamie Redknapp is a cunt. Just the, listen to what the other person has to say. I know you hate Arsenal. It's clear that you hate Arsenal. Fair enough. I'm not asking you to love us or whatever, but just listen to the other point of view that your co-host or colleague has to make. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't just shut it off as if like, oh yeah, no, I know, mate. I know what I'm. So basically, that's what he was saying. He was like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Nah, that's a red card. That. So anyway, that's my rant over about.
I think as well though for these guys, try to take it with a pinch of salt. I'm speaking as a Chelsea fan. Last year before,
Yep.
and the year before that.
Yep.
The day since a Roman sold the club, we have had nothing but shit from every single pundit. The Gary Nevilles, the Jamie Carragher's, the Jamie Redknapps, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Everybody who's come on has gave us shit, apart from ex-Chelsea players or ex-Chelsea legends who have come on and said, try to give a point of view and be like, it's a young team, give him some time, he's going to struggle, etc. Whereas the rest of them be like, why would you go to Chelsea for? Well, it's 8-year contract, so you can semi-retire already. That's the main reason why, first of all. But we all know that. And it's just the thing, it's there to cause controversy so that people can get
It's
angry.
click.
People can
It's rage
phone in.
baiting. Yeah,
That's
it's
it,
rage
rage
bait. That's
baiting.
what it
There's
is.
the word for it, perfect for it. And it's the same with the radio as well, man. You hear things on the radio sometimes. Ray Parlour, obviously being on Talk Sport, he does the same as not what Jamie Redknapp did, but what your co-host, or not your co-host, sorry, what his co-host and his colleague did, give a different point of view. And there's people like, no, he's not going to get that. No, he won't get that. But like, be realistic. He's running with the ball.
Yeah.
Ben White is not exactly slow, and it's
No, but
not
like
a damn Traore. If it's Traore, red card all day, because Traore he'll get
Oh,
there
he would have
before
made
anybody
it.
else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He's not. Yeah, no one's touching him. Yeah,
No,
100%.
but then he wouldn't score. Knowing Traore, he'll get there, then he won't score.
Yeah, he
Do you know
won't
what I
score,
mean?
so you just
either
leave him
way,
anyway,
know
yeah.
that as well. So you just leave
Yeah,
him.
he's like, all right,
But,
cool, man. Run.
I hear what you're saying, and maybe for tonight and yesterday or the day before's analysis, he maybe deserves the title of he is a.
Yeah, just say it, man. Just say it. I'm not going to beep it out.
Nah, they're going to be. Well, I don't like the cunt as it is anyway. So
There you
yeah,
go.
he is
So
a
fair
cunt.
enough. I'll take that, by the way. Yeah. So yeah, I don't really have much to add apart from that. Again, it was a poor performance. Some players poorer than others. Some players are clearly not ready or not up to speed with the Premier League just yet. In Mikel Merino, which I'm sure he will be, by the way. Like, he's not a bad player. He was quite solid. He had some good feet movement as well. But I just don't think he's 100% ready yet. And yeah, so for me, we just move on to the next one now.
Who's the young black guy who came on? The young player who came on, because he got on the booking as well. He got a booking. I forgot his name now.
Nwaneri?
I think it was him. Yeah, the young lad. He looked quite
Nwaneri get
quick,
booked?
quite agile. I think he got booked and he was like ref. Oh no, he wasn't. No, sorry, he didn't get booked. There was a foul that the defender flew in front of him and went to the floor, and he's like free kick the other way. And he's like, ref, I didn't even touch him. He just went down. That was it.
Yeah.
Not booking. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know if you remember that bit.
I was going to say it because I don't remember Nwaneri getting booked.
No, he didn't. He didn't get
I-
booked. It was that bit where the defender tried to give him shoulder to shoulder, but he kind of like stepped back, let the defender
touch
fly
him,
off in
yeah.
front of him, and then referee's like free kick the other way, and he was like, "What for? Like I didn't even touch him."
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting.
That's
That was-
it's interesting.
But no,
Yeah, that's the
I
words
agree
to use.
with the points that you've made. I think like all you can do now is move on to the next one. Players learn, but all we're saying as well, so the listeners know, is consistency. Even as a Chelsea fan, if Saliba got sent off, Tosin is super lucky just to be on the
Yeah,
pitch,
I agree.
because it's
100%.
a similar situation.
Yeah.
Very similar situation to what they saw and how many yards he was in past the halfway line.
And the fact that
but-
the shirt pull, wasn't it? That for me, that's what does it more than
Yeah.
anything else.
But
the
this
shirt
this
pull
has
part.
ruined your chances now. Obviously, puts you at a disadvantage against Liverpool at
Yeah.
home. Granted, you're at home, but who are you going to play instead of Saliba?
it'll either be Kiwior or it'll be Tomiyasu or even
Somebody was telling me Tomiyasu's injured though. Is Tomiyasu back?
Still?
Because somebody
Oh,
said
wow.
he's injured for a month. One of the
thought he
lads
made it
at
back.
work is an Arsenal fan. He said Tomiyasu's injured.
There you go. I choose
But
not to
we've got
believe
loads of injuries.
I choose not to believe these sick rumours.
Okay, fair enough. Fair
No,
enough. Okay, so
yeah.
Tomiyasu and Gabriel at the back.
It'll probably
I worry
be.
for you, though.
It'll probably be
worry with
Calafiori.
Gabriel. I worry with Gabriel being at the back without Saliba because, like
Yeah.
I said, he's the
He's
yin
getting
and
a
the
red
yang.
card.
He's the calm to the storm, and against Liverpool, he will get a red card.
Yeah, he's taking down
Gabriel
Salah for
Nunes. Nunes is going to ruin him, just like he tried to do with Barry Shield for
Yeah,
Chelsea.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
Barry Shield got a yellow card, and there's
I
just like
think-
a little bit of handbaggy.
I think Arne Slot. Oh shit! Just broke that. I think Arne Slot will take any advantage against Arsenal. To be
100%,
honest, so yeah,
100%.
if it means Darwin Nunes starts and he tortures Gabriel, fair dues. If it
I'm
works,
getting
fair
excited
dues.
for the weekend now. I'm excited for the
I'm
weekend.
looking forward to it. I want to see. I
When
want to
is
see
it?
how he bounces
Saturday,
back.
Sunday? When's
Sunday.
the game?
Sunday, 27th. Yeah, so I think it's 4:30 on Sunday. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add on Arsenal, but we do have a couple more games that we can quickly discuss before we
I
bring
want
the
to
show to an
discuss
end.
Man City, bro. Like I don't know how they got the win. For me, that's an offside all day, every day.
So, un momento, por favor, because I have got some.
Turning the page
notes. I'm just turning. Yeah, so my notes are Man City get a late winner, foul against Wolves that led to the 3-4 corners, which led to the goal. So, yeah, I think before that even happened, before the goal, like that goal from John Stones happened, there was a foul up the other end, which never even got entertained, and they just moved on, and then that led to the corners. I think it was like 3 corners altogether on the bounce.
I didn't watch it.
3 or 4 corners
I
on
was
the
at
bounce.
Sainsbury's.
And and then the ball, basically, obviously, ball comes in. John Stones jumps up, gets the goal, just like he did against Arsenal last minute as well. So again, it seems it's very, very unfair because Wolves would have had an absolutely amazing result. I know it's a draw, but for them, it's an amazing result. But yeah, I think that the added extra time and just the fact that for me personally, I may need to go watch it back and maybe I imagined it in my mind, but I know that there was a foul up the other end which just went, all right, carry on.
I didn't get to see that because obviously watching highlights, it doesn't really show you the sort of most of it. It tells you just key points, and the key point was, and everybody's been talking about it as well, Bernardo Silva blocking the goalkeeper. Or being in an offside position, blocking the goalkeeper, and everyone's he's not interfering with play. Well, he clearly is because he's stopping the keeper from getting out. He's in an offside position, stopping the keeper to try and make the in that position. You make the keeper second guess. The keeper's not going to come out and clatter Bernardo Silva.
No.
He's going to try and possibly get out, or he's going to try and get back on his line and get into position. So for me, that needs to be looked at as well as from the referees again. And the rule book. What is happening with a player who's in an offside position in front of the goalkeeper?
Yeah, whether interfering or not, yeah.
Whether he's interfering or not, like that's it. We need a clear rule on that and just say this is not it. Because if there's a clear rule on it, more teams will end up doing that.
Yeah, put a
Leave
line.
player in a,
Sorry, I was going to say, use the form line that they use for the free kick. Just put it next to the keeper or like 3 yards away. Be like, right, player, you cannot step over this white line and get close to the keeper.
That's it. Do that.
It's
Do
a
that.
corner. Run up to the keeper. There's the white line.
Yeah.
This player cannot go past this.
Yeah,
The
because you
keeper-
guys do that very well as well, though. You guys, Ben White does that all
does,
the
yeah.
time
He
to the
does.
point where he gets to the keeper and takes but he's never in an offside position.
Yeah,
when
he's
doing that.
a bit smarter. He sort of moves away. But look,
He moves away, but he does it during corners, not during sort of like when the balls come in. Because Ben, I don't know how, unless I didn't see it right. The ball was a corner and got played out, and then it got crossed in.
Yeah,
Is that right?
so it was so it came from a corner, didn't it? That's what I'm saying. So there was like 3. There was 3 corners altogether. There was 2 on like left-hand side of the pitch, and the last one came from the right-hand side of the pitch where my guy just went up and nudged it in, nodded it.
And now they're 3 points ahead of you.
So yeah, I mean, look, when you first see that Bernardo Silva incident, you just don't really read too much into it. You don't think much, but then when you watch it again and in slow motion, you think, yeah, because he wanted to move. Jose Sarr wanted to move, but obviously he couldn't move at that particular moment in time because Silva was right in front of him. By the time the ball came in, he was wrong-footed completely. Do you know what I mean? So So yeah, I think again something that VAR could have had a look at, just to be like, look, well, they did look at, but they just clearly didn't deem it anything at all apart from a goal. So it was
Do you
always going
think
to be
if it
the
was
case.
the other way around, it would have been deemed as something without trying to fuel conspiracy?
Yep.
If it happened, Wolves against Man City, 1-1, making it 2-1, I feel like they'd be like, no, he's offside, he interfered with the keeper.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we seem to be pre-programmed. Rather than use our own eyes and trust our own judgment, we think, like the Jamie Redknapp, who's the cunt, he goes, no, that's a straight red card because the referee gave a red card. Well, hold on, Jamie. Like, make your own judgment by trusting your own eyes.
There's not enough brain cells
if
in
he
that, bro.
interfered
That's
the keeper. No, but not even him, though. There's so many members of the public who just kind of go ahead with, well, no, that's just how it is. Well, it's not how it is. You're just being told how it is.
Yeah.
That's maybe not the truth.
Yeah.
Trust
You need to
your
talk
eyes
about
with
this,
what you saw.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it might be. We need. I'm glad we're speaking about it. More people need to speak about it. Pundits need to speak about it.
I agree.
People who've got the bigger platforms than what we have need to talk about it, because that's the only way change is going to come along with the referee and the consistency that we're all asking for.
I agree. I totally agree with you. Obviously, speaking of referee decisions, moving away from Man City, we did have Spurs. Obviously, they won 4-1 against West Ham. And kudos.
I don't know how, by the way. I have no idea how they won.
I don't know. West Ham were not good. Lopetegui is not a good coach. I'm sorry for any Lopetegui fans out there, by the way, which I know will be rare. But yeah, he's not a good coach, and he's proven that in the Premier League. He's proven that in where has he coached? In Spain, France?
Wasn't he in Spain? He was a Real Madrid coach, wasn't he? And then
for a little bit. And then
he was a Spanish
national
coach, and then they said won the. He was Spanish, and then they were like, "Oh, Madrid want you," and he accepted the Madrid job after the Euros. Was it him?
No, it was during the Euros, wasn't it?
Oh, was it during the Euros? And then they got rid of him. I think it was just
right.
before the Euros, and then
That's right.
Luis Enrique became the coach of the national team.
That's right.
Something along those lines.
So
Kudos is a silly boy. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, there's no need for that at all.
And do you know what makes me angry as well? At the fact that he was like a pussy with throwing the way he threw his hands, like sneaky, trying to hurt you in a sneaky way. Either hit me, bro. Don't try and do like you're flapping at me and then show me your nails to scratch me like a little bitch.
Yeah. That's what he was doing. He was showing nails.
That made me really angry. Like the showing nails. I was watching. I'm not even a Spurs fan. I'm just a human being looking at it. And be like, what the hell is this guy doing?
I didn't care for that.
I hope he gets 3-match ban. I hope he gets 3, 4, 5. I really
if he
don't
gets
care.
a match
He's off
ban,
my fantasy team anyway.
If he gets 1 match ban and Saliba gets 3 match ban, I think we need to find the PGMOL fucking studio centre and just go shout abuse at Howard Webb. Obviously with Spurs 4-1, again, not really a fun time to watch Spurs win. Same as Man United, they won 2-1 as well. Not really. And again, if you want to ask questions on how Spurs won, how the hell did Man United win that match? To be honest, they were not good yet again. Like, they're just not a good team to watch.
They're going to get found out soon. Like, these matches is just to keep the crowd happy and keep the boardroom happy. But when they come up against a serious team, they'll just get found out again. And he's bound to lose his job soon, I think.
Did you see my latest posting on the on our group? El Sakiko.
Oh, El Sakiko, yeah.
Man United versus West Ham.
West Ham, yeah.
So Ten Hag versus Lopetegui, who's going to go first? And that should be an interesting match. But look, so with the Spurs one, there was no other way about it, was there really? Like, he had to be a red card. He threw hands. He had to move on from there. But
what I don't get, though, the referee gave a yellow first.
Yeah.
What was the referee watching and the linesman and the fourth official? Why did he have to go to VAR? You could clearly see there was no other player when he went and pushed Van der Vaart in the face and then tried to claw him. I saw that from where I was.
Oh, yeah. It was just them
miles away on the screen.
It was just them two, yeah.
And then obviously after that, then he tries on the next player, and then he goes for Sarr afterwards.
Yeah.
And you think to yourself, why is it yellow? Like, he's like, oh, ref, just give a yellow card. No, there is no yellow in that. That's a straight red instantly.
That's a straight red. That is 100% straight red. Look, in terms of other matches, who cares? Because we discussed the most important ones. And for other fans of other teams that we haven't mentioned, please do get in touch and let us know why you want us to talk about your team.
I do want to talk very quickly, though, bro. Like, I can't believe Newcastle got beat by Brighton 1-0.
Did they? Oh, wow. I totally missed that result.
Newcastle got beat 1-0.
Wow.
That's why.
That is incredible.
And Isak was playing as well, and they had a strongish 11
but
now.
He's just come back from injury, though,
their strongest 11. Yeah, but maybe don't play him too soon then. I don't know. Maybe Eddie Hurt. No, I'm joking. Eddie Howe. I'm joking. Not season one, man. How am I joking? How are you getting it wrong? Yeah. No, Eddie Howe clearly then... I don't know, is the England thing not in his mind? Because he even came out saying, I wasn't part of the 10 short list before they got Thomas Tuchel, etc. But listen, bro, like, it goes to prove again, like, there's certain matches you need to win, because the Saudis and not going to hang around. You've got no Champions League football this time.
No.
You need to make sure that Newcastle team is minimum fifth. Minimum fifth with European football.
Yeah. And that's,
but really, they won Champions League because what they had Champions League to get the bigger sponsors, the global reach of the Champions League. So now I was very, very disappointed at the fact they got beat. And obviously, hopefully they get beat again next week when they travel to Stamford Bridge.
Standard stuff. But yeah, I mean, I totally missed that result, to be honest, because I was so pissed off with my own result. Look, anything else you want to add on football before we have a quick little chat about the F1? Because that was really good.
No, I've got nothing to add. I've really enjoyed the fact that the Premier League has been back. Decent game. My team were okay. We didn't get battered. But I thought we probably, back in my mind, I thought 5th, 5, 4.
Controversy fueled, hasn't it? It's been controversy fueled weekend.
It has been controversy fueled weekend. But I'm just going to look closer to home, and I was happy with the performance. Shame about the result, but anyway, we move on. Like you said,
there was 5 red cards on Saturday alone, by the way, across the weekend.
Who were the 5 red cards? Obviously, Saliba being 1, Kudos 2.
Hold on, let me just go back to it. Nothing on Sunday, which is weird. Kudos, and then Fulham versus Villa. They had a player sent off each, which was Anderson. Each, and
yes.
Philogene?
Yes.
Who the hell is Philogene, by the way?
Yeah, he's a young boy. He's got a second yellow for a hand on the back. This is one thing I want to discuss as well. This inconsistency. The player Nelson was running past him, and then he's running, but he puts a hand on the back. Obviously, as a defender, as an attacker, you are going down.
Yeah, of course you are.
But to the referee,
you don't need an invitation.
You don't give him a second yellow for that.
No.
That's not even a yellow card at best anywhere on the pitch. But anyway, so that led a second yellow and got sent off. Again, the referee, I think they made a decision. They're trying to correct it by making another decision, but really they're coming under more scrutiny.
Yeah.
Scrutiny. Becoming underneath more. I can't even say it now, bro. My mouth has gone like I'm just. But I'm determined to say it on the next episode. But they can't just do that because then obviously we are scrutinising them even further and further. Bosh.
Yeah.
Instead, what we need to do is, if you've made the decision, stick to it. Don't try to correct it by sending somebody else off or give somebody else a penalty when it's not a penalty, because then you've made 2 mistakes.
My bro went from an adjective to a verb, by the way. Love it.
All over and everywhere.
Scrutinise to scrutinising. I love it, by the way. Love it.
Well, if you can't say it, move on to the next best thing.
If you can't say it, do it.
Do it.
I agree, Rick. I think, this... It's tiring just discussing the referee decisions and whatnot. So that's the issue. But look, before we bring it to an end, did you catch any of the F1 by any chance?
I caught a little bit of the F1. Yes, I was disappointed with the start because Lando was first, but a part of me knew he was going to get second.
It's Lando's things.
Not expecting Leclerc to come in from out of nowhere and just zinger. I loved it too, but what I hated about was the fact that I just really dislike Max.
Okay, then can I
dislike him for what he did to Sainz as well, and pushed Lando Norris quite far out. Then he tried to push Lando Norris again. Then he got a 5-second penalty because he overtook him outside. There's nothing Lando could have done on that.
Which is fair. No, Lando could have.
52 minutes.
He could have bailed. He could have bailed out of that. He could have literally just slotted in right behind Max, and he could have gone again for the next 3-4 laps. Because the thing is with Lando.
But the thing is, Max is expecting this all the time, though. Didn't Max do this to Lewis Hamilton? And then Lewis Hamilton was like, he turned into me. Like, he's trying to push me out. I'm staying on my racing line here.
The difference with that was that, again, they touched, do you know what I'm saying? Whereas in this case, Max was actually in the racing line and at the apex in front of Lando. So by the time that turn was made, and obviously, the car has to drift wide, why is Lando hanging around from the outside? Do you know what I mean? He's trying to take him on the outside, but again, which he did, but he took him outside. I hate
Max hat on, but for me, I just don't like that kind of stuff. Because that is racing, but that's a bit dirty as well to be like, I'm just going to push you out. I'm in the racing line, but I'm going to keep going as far wide of this racing line as I can.
It doesn't matter. It's his racing line. That's what takes priority. Look, and you know me and Red Bull, like, I don't like Red Bull, bro. I've never liked Max, even though I respect him as a great driver. And you know what it is, right? He proved that yesterday. Because the Max of old, of 3 years ago when he was fighting against Lewis, he would have bashed into him. He would have gone straight into him, boom, into the wall, see you later, lad. He would have taken both of them out. Do you know what I mean? Just so Lando couldn't get the points. But the fact that he has won 3 championships and he has matured as a driver, I can't really be mad at him because he didn't do anything wrong in that instance. However, I will say this. Maybe in the first turn, Like, obviously at the start, turn one. But again, no one touched. No one. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, again, he had the inside line. Lando was trying to go in, and he got pushed out. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, maybe give something there. But again, you can't, because that's a first lap incident. Do you know what I mean? Or a first lap. So not even because it wasn't even an incident. It was just a first lap.
It wasn't an incident.
Yeah.
It was just he got pushed. But like, if it was somebody else, if it was Lewis would have been, I'm first at the apex. You might be in the inside line. I'm just going to turn here. You turn or crash into me. You know what I mean?
Fine,
that's the thing. That's what some of them would have done. But I think Max is very clever in going. Do you know what Max reminds me of? Max reminds me of, if the listeners may know this, whoever's listening from, boy racers. You know when they go in and out, weave in and out of traffic, they're like, well, the car behind, when I get in front, they're not going to hit the accelerator to go and crash into me. They're going to hit the brakes and panic, which would give me even more space to go. And I feel like Max does the same thing as well. That kind of uses that analogy of like,
it's racecraft.
If I push him out, nobody's going to come into. Oh,
Rick,
listen,
that's what
I just don't like him.
No, that's fair.
These little dirty
fair.
things.
That's fair.
For me, they're dirty.
If he'd made contact with Lando, then fair enough. I'd agree with you 100%. But unfortunately, Lando was in the wrong because again. So he took him on the outside.
Both incidences though, like, listen, one sec. I don't think it's if he made contact with Lando. I don't think they didn't make contact because of Max. They didn't make contact because of Lando cautiously moving further away and giving him the extra. This is what I mean.
No, I get it. I get
it's
it.
the boy racing stuff again.
The thing is, right? Why did Lando back down then? If you want to be the toughest out there, why did you back down? Why didn't you hit him?
Maybe that's why I'm angry and I'm blaming Max. Maybe I'm angry at him and be like, why'd you chicken out, bro? Like, if he's trying to do that, just drive your line as well.
The thing is with Lando, he was told by his team, right? First thing they said was, "Oh, you were in front of the apex," which he clearly fucking wasn't, because you can see that on TV. Like, I watched the replay 3 times, and even Martin Brundle was like, "No, he wasn't ahead of the apex." And even if he was, that's not what you tell your driver. What they should have told him is like, "Look, mate, you took him on the outside. We're under threat for a 5-second penalty. Give this position back, and then go at him again. Fight him again." That's what Lando should have done, right?
Yeah. That would have been
he shouldn't have continued. Do you know what I mean? Because then he got the 5-second penalty. Like, dude, go up the road. Like, chase him down. Like, if you're going to overtake him on the outside and risk a 5-second penalty, you better be prepared to drive up to 10 seconds in front of him. Do you know what I mean? 5.1 seconds, at the very least, you need to be in front of him. So by the time that hits, you are still ahead in 3rd place. Do you know what I mean? However, Lando didn't do any of that. And because he was believing his team, and his team was hyping him up and gassing him up and like, "Oh, no, you were ahead of the apex." He was like, I know I was. Obviously not like that, but I'm just saying, like,
And here we say, "No,
I know I was.
That's how he
so I'm
was
just going to carry on."
as well.
Exactly. So you just carried on. And guess what, mate? You got that 5-second penalty because you carried on. You should have given that back.
That's bad management, isn't it? That's bad management.
It was. I blame McLaren in that instance. I really do. They shouldn't have even left Lando and Oscar that long out. Do you know what I mean? They shouldn't have left them on that set of tyres for that long, because it didn't give them any real advantage. The advantage was to overtake Max and go after Sainz. That was never going to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they left them out too long. But look, that bit, the 6 laps that them two put together around that track, probably some of the best laps I've ever seen in Formula One. They were just incredible. And Max, he was such a good driver, like, in defending. My God. Honestly, he reminds me of Schumacher sometimes. I know it's aggressive, but he reminds me of Schumacher, where he will just plant that car there. It's like, mate, it's up to you what you do.
Exactly. This is the
thing. But this is the mark of the champion, because he doesn't care.
If you're a fan of him, you love that. You're like, yes.
I'm not even a fan of him.
If you're not, I know, but when you make the comparison to Schumacher, I became, then for that split second, I'm like, yeah, actually, that's a great way of driving, because I'm a fan of Schumacher.
My point,
do you know what I mean?
My point, yeah.
But when you make that point, that kind of point and that kind of comparison, like, yeah, okay, you can get away with it. But if you don't make that comparison, and let's say you use it to somebody who you don't like, let's say like Howard Webb is on a Formula One car and decides to say, "I'm leaving this car here." Exactly, it's a different reaction.
He's getting a red card, bro. He's getting a red card straight away. I'm going to be on the phone with Bob. Give me that phone number for Bob, bro.
When you compare him to someone you don't like, all of a sudden you're like, do you know what? I actually don't like what he just did.
No, look, like I said, it's but no. And this is why it was such good racing, because the fact that no one agrees on what really happened. How it should have been judged.
This is all sports, isn't it? All sports is.
This is why we love
subjective, and this is why we love sports. We've all got different opinions on it, and have a conversation.
And this is how you have a discussion with people. So, yeah, look. Overall, I thought it was a tremendous race weekend. Eminem performed on Saturday night. He had a massive set on Formula One. Yeah,
I need to see that.
He really. But I mean, again, if you're a fan of Eminem, you've heard his songs, but it's not like there's no official video in terms of from the event organizers. It's all like phone recorded. I'm guessing they'll probably release it at some point. So yeah, I thought it was a great race weekend. Obviously, there was a sprint race as well, which I don't really want to get into because it's kind of like, do you know what it reminds me of? A sprint race. It kind of reminds me of XG in football. It's like, yeah, it's good. It's kind of good. I get it, but I don't really care for it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, whatever.
When are they doing these sprint races? Is it a Saturday? So they do qualifying Friday and Saturday qualifying, and then how do they fit in the?
So Friday they've got one step. So let me just get this right because I get confused.
It's not all of the circuits, is it? It's only some of them. Isn't it like 5 out of the calendar they do sprint racing?
So I think Brazil's got one. I think Brazil's the last sprint race that they have. So sprint races. Okay, so Friday is practice 1, and then later on in the evening or later on is sprint qualifying, and then Saturday is a sprint race, and then later on it's qualifying for the race on Sunday.
See, that makes no sense. If you're doing the sprint race, you should do the sprint race
That's
for
how they
the
used to have
qualifying.
it. That's why they used to have it, yeah.
Whoever wins becomes first.
Last year, that's how it was. That's how.
So I don't understand what's the point, because then you're right, actually. Then in that case, then it's pointless. It's pointless having XG.
Yeah. So exactly my point.
Because this is what I didn't understand. I was like, Max won sprint race, but Lando's first. I was like, did Max not win the sprint race? What did I miss?
It's the qualifying, yeah. So that how you describe it, that's how it was, and I preferred it that way because, like, oh, cool. So we don't get actual qualifying. We get a sprint race. We get the qualifying for the sprint, and then from the sprint race, the grid has decided it's like, oh yeah, I loved it. Last season, I thought it was brilliant.
Too.
I really did. But they've changed it. So anyway, I hope they change it back at some point. But
next year when Audi or whenever Audi join in.
Yeah, 26 isn't when the regulation changed. So I'm hoping something will change there. But yeah, like overall, I thought it was a great weekend. Obviously, this is what we do on the podcast. We talk about the top 5, really top 10. Do you know what I mean? If there's anything, Perez, he was pretty poor, to be honest. You know, he was I don't know.
Leave one. His seat might be
he needs to go. Yeah, he needs to go. Yeah. And last thing
where though? Is he going to stay in Formula One if he goes, or do you think he's going to go to some NASCAR stuff?
So if he stays in Formula One,
offending NASCAR,
the only way he stays in Formula One is because I think he's sponsored by Telnet, which is the Mexican telecommunication company. Okay. And if the next team are like, we need sponsors, then that's where Checo will go because they'll just take the sponsorship with him if they're still under contract. But again, it all remains to be seen. And last thing before we bring the episode to an end, by the way, Danny Ricciardo has officially retired from Formula One.
I saw that. Yeah.
Say retired. He got
kicked out.
He got canned, really. Yeah, he got sacked.
Yeah, and then he retired.
Yeah, then he retired. So yeah, it's a bit sad to see. It really is because when you look at Checo and you think, wait a second, why don't you just put Danny Rick in that car for the remainder of the season? At least you know he's going to fight like a dog. Do you know what I mean? Like a dog. Because Checo's like, shit, I'm under contract, fam. Till the end of the season, I'm all right. Like, even if I end up 9th, I don't give a shit. Even if you sack me, I'll still get paid, so it's irrelevant. So, yeah. Overall, at least one of my teams won, which is Ferrari. Hence why I'm wearing the Ferrari hat tonight.
Yes.
And,
1-2, wasn't it?
1-2, yeah. 1-2. It was really good.
When's the next one? When's the next F1
So,
race?
next one is this weekend, and it's Mexico. And basically, it's like a triple header, isn't it, or a double header left to go yet. So we've got Mexico, Brazil, Vegas, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi, obviously, to close it off. So I look forward.
I'm excited for Vegas as well. To be fair,
I didn't watch Vegas last year because it was late on, and I think I don't even know what I was. Moving. That's what I was doing. I was moving. So I wasn't around. But I'm looking forward to Brazil, to be honest. I really, really love Brazil. And obviously Abu Dhabi being the end. So But we will be here and discussing all of those and more. And if you have any questions, please do get in touch. Tash Mike Guys on Twitter /X or Threads or Instagram, wherever you want to get in touch. Yeah, it is what it is. Rick, do we have any? All of them, please. Rick, do you have anything else you want to add before we bring it to an end?
I've got nothing, bro. I've got nothing to add. I've enjoyed the episode. It was nice to get things off our chest and kind of say it with our chest.
With our chest, absolutely.
Say it with our chest. So, yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Send us out.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. We will catch you on the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay alert. Rick?
Yeah, man. That's it. Stay safe, stay alert. Don't do me like that, bro.
I love it. I love it. That's why I do it. That's why I do it.